Peace and love. Peace, peace. What's going on, everybody? Peace and love, brother. How everything going? Peace and love. Come on in, everybody. We had a great event this weekend. Great event. Make sure y'all catch the next one. We learned a lot. We laughed. We cried. We did a lot. So make sure you guys catch the next one. Peace, peace. Peace and love. Peace and love. Y'all got any questions? I'm on for a little second. I got a call coming up, but just wanted to come on and see if I can answer anything. Peace and love. Cammy, peace and love. EM, peace and love. Yeah, I had an event in ATL. We gonna do another one though. It was a great turnout. It was a great turnout. Yeah, I know I had to change up. Yeah, we met. Yeah, it was some great people out there. Next time you guys gotta make it out. It was a great time. Great time. Great time. I want everybody to come in, share with your people and stuff, because I got something important. But I do want to give a shout out to a brother that I met. I'm trying to type his, let me make sure I got it right. I know it's My Majesty's, that's it. All right, peace and love, yep. Yeah, I want you guys to check that out. I want you guys to check out this tea. I was at the event and I met a brother. We got this tea called Majesty, which is, man, it's great. This stuff is great, man. I just started drinking it. Y'all know me, I'm not too much a public person, but when I taste something and it's good and it's made by melanin people, so I had to show y'all, you know. So make sure y'all check that out. Majesty. Great, man. He located in Atlanta. Met him out at the event. He got different kinds though, but man, he got a hibiscus tea. I ain't even tasted that one yet. Haven't tasted yet, but I already know. He got his last one, his green tea with ginger in it. Man, just tap in with the brother, man. Great brother. What y'all got? Y'all got any questions? Any question? I was reading some stuff earlier. Let y'all check out. I want to read y'all some stuff. 1 second. Share with your people. Share with your people. Real life. I had no time to glam up today, but I want to show you guys something real quick. I was studying earlier, but I want to show y'all what I was reading earlier. Let me read something to y'all real quick. 1 second. I know most people ask me what I study. Things that I read to kind of stay on my P's and Q's, but I want to give you guys this right here. When you're talking about trust, trust is a contract, and you got to know that. That's the first thing to know. A trust is a contract. So I want to read this to you guys. So right here, let's see. All right, so here. It says, the right to contract. The right to contract is guaranteed by Article 1, Section 10 of the U.S. Constitution. No state shall make any law impairing the obligations of contracts. So, a trust is it's an entity, but it's a contract, which makes it a person. So it's a natural person under the category. It is further guaranteed by the Fourth Amendment no state shall make or enforce any law which shall abridge the privilege or immunities of citizens of the United States, nor shall any state or any person within the jurisdiction of equal protection of the laws. Now, this right here is important. Now, you don't fall under the 14th Amendment. That's the problem. They put you under the 14th Amendment, but you're not a 14th Amendment system, right? Now, there are two classes of entities available today. Those created with the permission from the government: corporations, partnerships, sole proprietorships, business licenses, driver's license, identification numbers, and trusts. All of those fall under statutory. So if you was to tell somebody, hey, I have a trust, it still fall under statutory, because trust by definition fall under statutory. So the thing is what type of trust is it? That's the important part. Is it a pure trust? Is it a charity trust? Is it a business trust? You have to title it correctly. So those created with the government permission are subject to the government regulation, and the government can change their regulations whenever they wish. Corporations and other types of statutory entities listed above are created with the government permission. When you get to the government's permission, you give up your constitutional rights. You become subject to the bureaucratic control. Fortunately, one can establish an entity that is not subject to these states. The pure contract trust is a common law entity not subject to the statutory control. It is not created by government permission as corporations are. So right here, most lawyers don't learn about the Constitution and common law. That's what you have to understand. When you're dealing in trust, you're dealing in common law. You're not dealing in statutory law. Statutory law is commercial crimes. Most lawyers don't learn about Constitution and common law. They learn statutory law. They swear an oath to uphold statutory law. In fact, if they want to be heard in a common law court, they have to get special permission. Any entities that a lawyer creates, such as corporations, are statutory entities. So if you go to a lawyer, that's why we tell you all the time, if you're managing your private affairs, stay away from lawyers, because lawyers write statutory trusts, which are living trusts. The entities that they are created are subject to being licensed, reporting to the government, being audited, and taxed. However, the pure contract trust is not subject to these statutory intrusions. Now, this is a case study. Case study is important. If you go by case law, nobody can stop. When I communicate the information that I've heard, all right, most people would say this. So when most people hear about trust, hogwash, they're like, nah, you lying. You can't do that. Most people, that's their response. The next response is, damn, that changed my life. And that's what most people now, they're starting to wake up to it, and it's changing their lives. So this right here is a case. This is a case law right here that you can study. But this right here is what I wanted to get to, because I know we have a lot of people talk about sovereignty and stuff like that, but I want you to understand what it means. Sovereignty means a lot, but this is the thing. You're not sovereign, but the trust that you create is sovereign, because the trust is a person. Going through a divorce, if you had a trust already designed before the divorce, then a trust automatically is a prenuptial agreement. But at that point, you need to create a trust, and you need to protect the assets that you have now. No matter what the response, the information you're about to read is the greatest day of your life. Let's consider following the United States Supreme Court case. The case contrasts the duty of the corporation with the duty of a sovereign individual. If you have received a social security number, a birth certificate, a driver's license, all right, once again, one more time. Let's get, hola, what's happening? We're going to get into this sovereign individual thing for a minute. I just want people to see it. So, if you have received a social security number, a birth certificate, a driver's license, a marriage license, etc., you are not a sovereign citizen. unless you have taken special steps to correct status. See, that's why we always talk about status correction, and most people think we're going nuts when we talk about status correction, but it's a true thing. You have to put yourself back in the right spot. Yeah, you're not a sovereign citizen. That's an oxymoron. You can't be sovereign and a citizen at the same time. So this is what I want y'all to understand. Unless you have taken special steps to correct your status. Watch this. However, the pure contract trust is effectively, watch this, effectively a sovereign individual. See, most people trying to make themselves sovereign when you create a sovereign person, which is a trust by definition. There's a clear distinction in the particular case between an individual and a corporation, and that the latter has no right to refuse to submit its books and papers for examination at the suit of the state. The individual may stand up his constitutional rights as a citizen. He is entitled to carry on the private business in his own way. His power to contract is unlimited. He owes no such duty to the state, since he receives nothing therefore. Beyond the protection of his life and property, his rights are such existed by the law of the land long antecedent to the organization of the state, and can only be taken from him by due process. If you operate in a trust, things only can be taken from you with due process, which that's what nobody does anymore. Everybody do the administrative process. Nobody does due process. And in accordance with the Constitution, among his rights are the refusal to incriminate himself and the immunity of himself and his property from arrest and seizure, except under a warrant of the law. He owes nothing to the public, so as long as he does not trespass on their rights. Hale versus Ankle. This right here. You send this to a creditor, see what happened. Send this to a collection agency, see what happened. Let's look at what is being said. First of all, there's a difference between an individual and a corporation. There's a difference between an individual and a corporation. The corporation has no rights to refuse to submit its books and papers for examination. Secondly, the individual may stand upon his constitutional rights as a citizen. The key word here is stand. Stand. If you don't stand up for your rights and take advantage of the opportunities provided by them, no one else will do it for you. Third, it says he is entitled to carry on his private business in his own way. Note that it says private business in his own way. You have the right to operate a private business. This is said in his own way. It doesn't say with the government's guidance or interference. 4. His power to contract is unlimited. Notice, this is a treatment of our rights under the Constitution. There are several items that determine whether a contract is valid or not. The obvious is that any contracts that would harm others or violate their rights will be invalid. Aside from that, your power to contract is unlimited. 5. He owes no such duty to the state to submit his books and papers for an examination, since he receives nothing. Therefore, beyond the protection of his life and property, the individual does not need and didn't receive permission from the government. Hence, he has no duty to the government. Hence, when you're operating through trust, it's private. It's private business. 6. His rights are such as existed by the law of the land, antecedent to the organization of the state. Take special note of this. The U.S. Constitution does not grant us right. It guarantees the right we already have. Don't believe it, read it. See? The answer to this in the question is to utilize a pure trust. The pure contract trust is a legal individual. A pure trust is a legal individual entity in the eyes of the law. A sovereign individual that has not comprised any of his constitutional or common law rights, a sovereign individual not subject to statutory regulation. A pure trust can own property, do business, is completely private. It has no reporting requirements to any government or state. It doesn't have to pay income taxes, capital gains, death, or estate tax. The pure contract trust can own property, do business, etc. It is completely private. It has no requirements to any government. It does not have to pay income taxes, capital gains, death taxes, or estate taxes, nor is it subject to the probate process. But don't get caught up on this pure thing, because you can name it anything you want. But I just wanted to show y'all, this is where all the sovereign talk comes from. So you have to know who you are. If you don't know who you are, then you're going to have an issue. Yeah. All right. That's all I do all day, y'all. I just read all day. Watch this. Trustees are sovereign individuals. The government operates on the basis that citizens are their slaves. Did y'all read that? The government operates on the basis that the citizens are their slaves because they have contracted away their constitutional rights by acquiring birth certificate, social security number, driver's license, etc. The trustees have taken the necessary steps to revoke all revoke. That's why we tell y'all, rescind contracts. Oh, this is some trust info. Like learning material I have in my folder. I just got this big folder that I study out of, y'all. Yeah. I just wanted to show y'all that though. When we talking about sovereignty and you hear people saying stuff like that, so just wanted to show you guys that. But I got a call to jump on, but I'll jump back on a little later, y'all. All right, peace.